Hey miners, thanks for watching our video series on how to get the most out of pro-hashing. Pro-hashing allows FPPS miners to choose what coin you would like to earn regardless of what coin you've been mining. You can also select what percentage of your earnings you would like to receive in each coin you choose. You can even decide to mine toward charity or staff tips. You may just want it simple. Mine, get paid, done. You might like significant control over how and when you get paid. Either way, this guide will walk you through how to navigate pro-hashing's many payout options. We will also take a look at how to set up direct to Coinbase payouts and what the benefits are. We'll take a look at portfolio targeting and how it can make it easier to balance your crypto portfolio the way you want it. We'll touch on balance forfeitures, what they are, and how to complete them. Finally, we'll take a look at the payout activity table and customer charts. Let's get started. Step 1 is to set up your simple payout settings. You can find these in the hamburger menu at the top right under Payouts, and your pro-hashing payout proportions show Litecoin by default. To add a new coin, click on the Add New Payout option button at the bottom of the Payout Proportions box. Click on the coin of your choice from the list. You can also add US dollars as a payout option, which we'll discuss in more detail in a future video, which will be linked in the video details down below and displayed in the card up above. Also, you can choose to direct a portion of your earnings to one of a list of charities. There is a link to a blog post detailing our available charities in the video details below. Finally, you can choose to direct a percentage of your earnings to a tip for a pro-hashing staff member who has made your mining experience particularly pleasant, and we'll discuss that more later on. Once you've clicked the Add New Payout Options button and selected a coin, you'll see the Add Payout window pop up. Here, you can add a wallet address for the coin you're adding. You're required to enter a payout address for this coin right away so that we can keep the least amount of money on hand as possible for security reasons. You can also opt in to direct to Coinbase payouts for some coins here, which we'll discuss later on in more detail. We recommend keeping the payout threshold as is. There's more on this on our video on payout fees, which will be linked in the video details below and displayed in the card above. However, if you have specific reasons for wanting to change your payout threshold, you can do so by clicking the Use Custom Payout Threshold box. You can use the preset minimum, free, or maximum buttons, or you can enter a custom amount in the custom threshold box. Once you've entered your wallet address for the coin you're adding, and your threshold is where you want it, click Save. You'll now be able to see the coin you've added in the Payout Proportions box with the wallet address and payout threshold visible. However, you can see here that the coin we've just added is set to 0% of the overall proportions. You now need to click on the target proportion box and enter the percentage of your earnings you would like to earn in this coin. You should do this for each coin you add, and then you need to look up at the top right of your screen to make sure your total proportions equal 100%. I also will need to make sure that I add a Litecoin wallet address so that I'm able to be paid out my Litecoin when I hit my threshold and my earnings become eligible for payout. Once you've set your payout proportions as you want them, and you check that your total proportion equals 100%, click Save Proportions. Notice right here the actual proportions. What we set earlier were the target proportions. The actual proportions in this case differ from the target proportions because actual proportions are calculated every 5 minutes from the system. So your changes will be active in your actual earnings in about 5 minutes. Another thing that can affect actual proportions is whether a coin is in error. Let's take a look at how you can figure out if a coin is in error. To do that, you can click on the status link up top. Then we're going to scroll down to crypto coin status. All of these coins are green, which means there are no errors, but there are coins that are in error. So I'm going to expand the list by clicking on all and scroll down a bit more. Here are some coins that are in error. One of those is Nick's coin, so I'm going to click on it to get a little more information. Here you can clearly see that all exchanges for this coin have at least one error by hovering over the exclamation point here. But when you click into it, you can also scroll down a little bit more and get some more information here. We're unable to obtain the sell price at this exchange for this coin, or there are no buy orders, which is why there are no exchanges currently enabled for this coin. If I return to the Payouts page, had I already had Nick's coin enabled as one of my payout options, I would go to Nick's coin and see that the actual proportion would be 0 for Nick's coin, but the rest of the coins I have selected would have Nick's coin's target proportion distributed across them. That's why there are actual proportions, because sometimes we can't get a price for a coin, or there's a daemon error, or the network has problems, so we need to issue payouts in a different coin occasionally. We will first try to pay out in the remaining coins that have non-zero proportions first, but unfortunately, if all the coins you have requested don't have non-zero proportions, then you'll have to go to a backup coin. The system allows for the specification of a backup coin by clicking on the backup coin tab down at the bottom here. In this case, Litecoin is already my backup coin, but I'll just click change and you can see that my backup coin has changed. Had it not been my backup coin already, you would see a new coin added with a payout proportion of 0. If all of the other coins I have added in my proportions were in error, the actual proportions would be set to 100% Litecoin. One unfortunate part of cryptocurrency is network fees, and these fees will affect how you receive your mining earnings. Because of these fees, there's a minimum payout which needs to be well above twice the network fee. This is because you would lose the transaction fee when we send the money to you, and then you would lose the transaction fee again to respend the money to somewhere else. Otherwise, you'd be left with what's called dust. There's a network limitation here that we just can't work around. However, you can get a free payout if you set your payout threshold to the pre-calculated free threshold in your PROHASHING account, which is here. It's the one that's automatically in there if you don't go in to use custom payout threshold. While you can choose a threshold below the free threshold by coming in here and putting in a custom amount, you will be charged a transaction fee, which you otherwise wouldn't have incurred by keeping the default threshold. If you would like a more detailed explanation of how transaction fees and payout thresholds work with PROHASHING, check out our payout fees video. It'll be linked in the video details below and the card up above. One way to cut fees and eliminate the need for a free payout threshold is by using direct-to-Coinbase payouts. Coinbase is an exchange that supports the buying and selling of coins. It's based out of San Francisco, and it also has a ledger, kind of like a bank. At the bank, think about how you bring money to a bank, and the bank has a large safe. Everybody's money is in the safe, and then there's a database that says this person's account has so many dollars, and this person's account has so many dollars, and this person's account has so many dollars, and so on. Coinbase is like that, except they have large wallets. Their ledger states that this person's account has so much cryptocurrency, and this person's account has so much cryptocurrency, and so on. Therefore, because Coinbase isn't actually sending transactions on the network, there are no transaction fees to send money between accounts on Coinbase. If you connect your Coinbase account to your PROHASHING account, PROHASHING can take advantage of this and not charge you fees for any amount of cryptocurrency payouts. To connect your Coinbase account, you'll go to Payout Settings, and then you'll go down to the bottom and click on Coinbase Options. Then you're going to click on the button for Connect with Coinbase. Here, you'll enter your Coinbase credentials, which I'm not going to do because my Coinbase account is already connected to a PROHASHING account for Payouts. But if you put in your credentials here and click sign in, then you'll be able to click on Bitcoin, for example, and check the send payouts to Coinbase account checkbox. That will then cause PROHASHING to send payouts to you daily to your Coinbase account with no fees. You do not have to enter your Coinbase credentials like on the screen for each coin you want to be paid in this way, but you will have to enable it here on the PROHASHING website under the Coinbase options once you've enabled Coinbase payouts and connected your account. Please make sure that you also have an updated wallet address for each coin that you choose to earn through direct to Coinbase payouts, because this will be your backup wallet address in our system if the link to your Coinbase account is ever disrupted or unlinked for any reason. If you want to send your payouts to a Coinbase account, but you do want to be able to set payout thresholds, you can do so the normal route by leaving the send payouts to Coinbase account box unchecked, and instead you would enter a Coinbase wallet address for the coin of your choice as detailed earlier in the video, just like I have it here for this Bitcoin payout. You may find at some point that you want to issue a balance forfeiture. That would be when you decide there's just dust of some balance or there's some coin that's been discontinued. You don't really care about that balance anymore and you just want to be rid of it from the screen. You want to move forward with your other earnings. Let's take a look at this particular account. Let's say I wanted to reevaluate right now and change my payout proportions moving forward. I just want to get rid of US dollar. One way to do that would be to click forfeit, but first I need to change my target proportions for US dollar to 0. I'll click save proportions, and then I'm able to click forfeit here. It's going to ask if I really want to do this, and gives me a little time before I click the button to make sure I read and decide that this is really what I want to do, and then I'm going to click forfeit. That's it. Now I'm back to earning 100% Litecoin. US dollar has been forfeited. It's removed from my screen and I can move forward with my other earnings. I want to talk a little bit about charities. If you go to your payout settings page and click on the Add New Payout option button, you can choose to earn money toward a good cause. In this case, I'm going to click on Give Directly. Give Directly is a charity that gives money directly to people who live in impoverished areas. You can learn a little bit more about Give Directly or the other 9 charities that we offer for you to support by either clicking on the links in each of the Add Payout boxes, which brings you to that section in our documentation, or by checking out our blog post, Crypto Mining for Charity, which you can find linked in the video details below, or you can navigate there through our blog section on our website. Here I can click Save to choose to add Give Directly to my payout options and set my payout proportions. Let's say I want to give 2% of my earnings toward Give Directly. I'll save my payout proportions. And now 2% of my earnings are going to a good cause, giving money directly to people who need it. We encourage all of our customers to read more about all of the charities in the documentation under Charities and Tips, or in our blog posts that I mentioned earlier, and to choose a cause that they would like to help, because it really is a good thing to help out those in need. Also, if you want to help out one of our employees who you feel has done a great job, then you can select a tip to that employee. Click on Add New Payout option and scroll down below the coins. You'll find our employees who are eligible for tips listed here, and you can select the employee of your choice. For your reference, we keep an updated list of employee responsibilities here in our documentation right below the Charities section. And if you see an employee doing great work that you'd like to reward, tips are just like charities. You can add a tip and then give a percentage to that person, even down to tenths of a percent. Even if you select 0.1%, The employer will be very appreciative to see that you are valuing their hard work. And the owners of the business do not accept tips, but they feel that others should be able to accept tips for their work. Just remember when you are adding a percentage to balance out the percentages in your other payout options. Make sure that the total proportion equals 100% and then save your proportions afterwards. If at this point you have your payout settings exactly where you need or want them, you can feel free to stop tweaking here. If simple works for you, then simple is all you need. You're all set up to earn the coins of your choice, to donate to the charities of your choice, or to tip the employees of your choice in the percentages of your choice. If, however, you're reaching this point and thinking, it would be great if I could base my earnings more on what the market is doing right now, we've got you covered. Scroll to the bottom of your payout settings page and select Earning Method. You'll see Constant, which means your earnings will be sent exactly as you set them earlier based on your daily balances, and Portfolio Targeting, which calculates your payout proportions based on the current state of the market. Portfolio allows customers to really take advantage of market changes and earn the coins when they're worth their least, which is great if you see coins as an investment and want to always have a specific set of proportions of each coin in your portfolio, not just in your daily earnings. I'm going to state that I want to look back 180 days and preview what my earnings would be. Notice that if we look back 180 days, this particular account has earned in US dollar value 11.64% Litecoin, 47.4% Bitcoin, less than 0.01% Ravencoin, 37.91% US dollar, 1.48% Solana, and 1.56% Dogecoin. The target proportions as we've entered them here are 40% Litecoin, 50% Bitcoin, and 10% Dogecoin. Notice that these differ from the past earning proportions. That might be because I've changed my payout proportions or because the value of the coins has risen or fallen over the past 180 days. If I want to always have a portfolio that consists of that 40% Litecoin, we'd need to earn more because I've only been earning about 11.63% Litecoin over the past 180 days. If I enable portfolio targeting by clicking Save, what will happen is my current target will now cause me to earn more Litecoin and Dogecoin until my Litecoin over the past 180 days equals 40%, and my Dogecoin over the past 180 days is up to 10%. I'll earn a few Bitcoins to get that proportion the rest of the way up to 50%, but really I'm going to earn Litecoin and Dogecoin over the next little bit to get that portfolio value up to the percentages I've requested. Let's say, for example, that while I'm mining to get these proportions balanced out into my target percentages, the value of Bitcoin really drops, but Litecoin stays the same. Now I'm going to earn a lot of Bitcoins for a while. We're not earning those constant earnings. We're earning them based on the previous portfolio value. Why this is really great is that it's possible to get coins when they're worth their least. PROHASHING will pay you the earnings of Bitcoin when Bitcoin is very low, so you get more Bitcoins, and then when Litecoin drops and your portfolio needs more Litecoin, you get credited Litecoin when it's at its low point. In the long run, you've earned more coins in your portfolio of each type than if you had just earned constant earnings, so they'll be worth more as the coins appreciate. Portfolio targeting is very powerful, and it allows you to earn more coins in the end compared to if you had just followed a constant earnings method over the same length of time. If using the simple payout settings or even setting your earnings for portfolio targeting is enough for you, that's great. We're happy you found what works for you. However, if you wish you could manually tweak your earnings just a bit more, then it's time to check out our advanced payout settings. To set up our advanced payout options, we need to have already followed the steps earlier in the video to set up our simple payout options, which we've already done. But if you haven't done that yet, feel free to pause the video here, rewind, go check out our simple payout options, get those set up, and come on back. We'll now head over and click on the Advanced tab on the Payout Settings screen, and then we're going to check the box next to it, Enable Advanced Payout Proportions. You'll see a green box that tells you that the advanced payout proportions were successfully enabled and now we're ready to get started. You should be able to see your current proportions as they're set up top, and then you'll have an empty box of payout rules. The first thing we're going to need to do is set up our triggers, which you'll find in the box at the bottom right of the screen. Triggers are the circumstances we want the pro-hashing system to watch out for before changing our original simple payout settings. We're going to click on the Add Trigger button here, and it's important to remember to give our triggers meaningful names that help us remember what these triggers do. When I click on Type, you can see I can choose from a balance trigger, a coin error trigger, a coin price trigger, or a daily balance trigger. I'm going to select a coin error trigger. And here, in this example, if Litecoin were to go into error, it would trigger a new rule. The trigger has now been added successfully, and I can see my trigger pop up here. Now look toward the middle of the Advanced Payout Settings page where you'll find the Payout Rules box. I've disabled my previously established rules here to make it easier to follow, and I'm going to click on Add Rule here, and the Add New Rule modal is going to pop up. Once you've added one or more triggers to the Payout Rule Triggers box, you should see them pop up in the drop-down menu here, and I'm going to select the Litecoin error trigger that we created a moment ago. Now I'm going to have a decision to make. I can choose to overwrite the existing payout proportions that I had set in the simple payout options section of the page, or I can choose to have the trigger cause a modification of the original proportions. I'm going to choose to modify my proportions, and then I need to select which coin or coins are going to be impacted by this rule. I only want 2 coins impacted, Litecoin and Bitcoin. And what I would like to have it do is, if Litecoin is in error, I would like to reduce my Litecoin proportions by that 40% of the total, and I would like to increase the Bitcoin proportions by that same 40%. So this way, Bitcoin's total proportion will move to 90% and Dogecoin's 10% will stay the same in this case. This rule order box is to be able to tell the system what priority you would like the rule analyzed in once you have more than one rule. For now there's only one, so I'm going to leave it at 1, and I'm going to click on Add Rule. You see that the rule was added successfully, and you should see the rule listed here. So if the Litecoin goes into error, then decrease the Litecoin proportion by 40% and increase Bitcoin proportion by 40%. If this rule is ever triggered, you will see that reflected in your actual proportions up here in this box. Now, if we have more than one rule, we're going to have to go back in and decide what order we would like these rules to be evaluated. The rules are evaluated from the top down, with the bottommost rule taking precedence over all of the other ones that were evaluated before it. If you do modify your rule order, don't forget to select Save Changes. I can demonstrate this by re-enabling one of my previous rules. And as you can see, the rule that we just established comes first, and then the Dogecoin error that I just re-enabled comes second. If I would like the Litecoin error one to take precedence, I'm going to need to swap these, so I'm going to move it down to the bottom of the list, and then this one will take precedence over all of the rules that come before it. If a rule has been triggered, that means it's considered active, and active rules will be highlighted purple in here. Also, you can collapse all rules or expand all rules by using these 2 boxes here, or you can go to this column of expand and collapse and choose to collapse or expand individual rules at will. If, when setting up your simple payout settings, you decided on constant earnings, but now you're thinking that portfolio targeting might be the way to go, you can still go back and select portfolio targeting at this point. The system will consider all of these other advanced payout rules, and then, and only then, will it calculate the numbers for your portfolio targeting. Lastly, now that you've checked out all of the different payout options, let's take a look at the payout activity chart that's available on the balances page. You can get there by going to the hamburger menu and clicking on balances. And when you scroll down on the balances page to payout activity, you can see all of my payout activity available here. You can see that I have earned Litecoin and Bitcoin. You can see the date that I earned those coins. You can see the dollar values of the coins that I have earned so far. And here you can see that I was paid out in this transaction. It shows the destination, and I can click on the transaction here to take me to PROHASHING's Block Explorer and see all of the inputs and outputs from this pool payout here. If I want to export this data, I can do so here. And I can choose to export for the month or for the year or all of my payout activity for all time. I would select which month I want to export the data for, and then I would click submit once I've selected all these options. It will then send me a comma separated value spreadsheet that contains all of the payout activity data. That's all for now for advanced payout options with PROHASHING. To review, we went over how to add a payout coin and talked about why payout addresses are required. We looked at different payout options that are available to us, including cryptocurrencies, US dollars, charities, and tips. We walked through how to connect a Coinbase account if you prefer to do away with payout thresholds for some coins. We took a look at actual versus target proportions and how those are affected by coin errors. We learned about balance forfeitures, and we took a walk through how to set up advanced payout options if you prefer more particular control over your earnings. We talked about portfolio targeting and how that can help you develop a cryptocurrency portfolio based on market conditions. Finally, we took a look at the payout activity table available in your PROHASHING account pages and how to export the data for accounting purposes. In future videos, we'll go into more detail on things like how US dollar ACH payouts work with PROHASHING and how fees and timing affect your payouts. For now, thanks for watching and thanks for mining with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time, miners.